What is architecture? If we go by definition, architecture is both the process and the product of planning, designing and constructing buildings or any other structures. Okay, let's see one example. Think like we are building a house, right? And in that house, basically, we want to build a house of maybe this house will have 4 rooms, one kitchen, right? And it will be two-story building, right? So in that case, number one, what we have to do, we have to do some planning activities, right? We have to plan how we will be basically building this house, right? And second, we have to do some design, right? We have to design means the position of doors and windows, right? Where will be the kitchen, right? So all those designing aspect will be there, right? So when we do these two things, right, to build a building or any other kind of structure, right? So the process of doing this, right, and the outcome of this exercise basically is called architecture. Okay, so when we want to build a house or any other type of structure or building, right? And so what we have to do, we have to do some planning for that, and we will be doing the design for this structure, right? So the process of doing this and the outcome of this both together is basically called the architecture. Okay, so this is one example to understand what is architecture. Let's see in our IT system how this definition we can apply, right? So when we want to build a system, right, what we have to do, we have to do some planning activities, right? Planning activities means in this system, do we have a database or not, right? If we have a database, whether it will be relational DB or NoSQL DB, right? Whether we will have this application as desktop application or a web application or mobile application, right? Where we will be deploying this application on Azure or AWS, like in cloud or somewhere else, right? So those kind of decisions uh, are part of the planning activities, right? And then we will be designing. We will be designing means we will be basically we have to design like how these, suppose this is a web application, right? So we will have web server, right? Then we will have some kind of API gateway or load balancer, right? And then we will have like database, right? So how these things will be working or interacting with each other, right? Where we will be placing the web server, right, between database and API or somewhere else, right? How this SQL database will be used, right? If we have an external payment service, right, how we will be talking to that service, right? So all these kind of design activities, right? And also we have to basically design in sense of like how the checkout feature will work, right? Or how uh, product catalog feature will work, right? So we have to design those features in the system, right? So these design activities are part of the system, right? We are going to define the structure and behavior of our system, right? So we have to do some planning and designing activity to design or to basically construct or build this system, right? So the process is about like how we will be completing this architecture, right? So how we will be basically implementing this architecture, right, or building this system, whether first we will be implementing the product catalog feature, then checkout feature, like that, or we will be implementing a part of checkout and part of product catalog feature together, and then the next part of checkout and product catalog, right, we will be building in parallel or in sequential manner. That is also part of the architecture, right? And the outcome is, when this system is ready, what kind of design or structure of the entire system we will be getting, right? That final product structure, right, or final product design is basically the architecture. So this process and outcome together basically define the architecture, right? So this is one definition. Let's consider another one to basically better understand the architecture. So another definition is, architecture includes the most important and hard to change design decisions, impact more than a part of the system, if not the whole system, which directly impact the quality of end product. Okay, so if we consider that definition, right, what are the hard to change design decisions, right? Once the house is constructed, right, we will not be able to change. In place of 4 rooms, we say no, we want 3 rooms or 5 rooms, right? That is not easy. Similarly, where we have the windows or doors, right, those we will not be able to change later on, right? So those are hard to change design decisions, right? So those are part of the architecture, right, and impact the quality of the end product. So here, like, where we will be placing the windows or how many windows we will be placing, that will basically define the ventilation quality, right, or the ventilation of the house. So that is a quality, right? Another quality is how much this house will be robust, or the build quality, right? So that's where we will define the thickness, right, thickness of the walls, right, how many pillars we will be putting, right? So all those things will define the quality. So those decisions we have to take as part of the architecture, right? Similarly, we see here in IT system, right? So what are hard to change design decisions? Whether we are going to deploy on Azure or AWS, right? That is a kind of hard to change design decision, right? Later on, we will not be able to change this easily, right? Or we will not be able to easily move from Azure to AWS, right? Or here, if you see, like, we have web server. So whether we will be using IaaS, right, or Apache, right, that is hard to change design decisions. So those decisions we have to take as part of the architecture, right? And similarly here, whether we will be using SQL or no SQL, that is again a kind of hard to change design decisions, right? So design decisions which are hard to change, right, and impact the quality of end product, right, and impact more than a part of the system, right? That is important aspect, right? So if we have a hard to change design decision, like related to the normalization, right, or table structure or schema, right, that may not be impacting any other part of the system, right? So those decisions are not basically architectural decision, even if those are hard to change, right? What kind of changes are hard to change? When we basically change the API interface, right? Or we will change how we can query this database, right? Or whether it is SQL or no SQL. Because if SQL database, then from here we will be integrating in different way. If no SQL, then different kind of integration, right? So when we change this part will be impacted, right? And when we change this and this part will be impacted, right? So this and this part will be impacted, right? So when we are changing one part of the system and it impacts other part of the system, then that is an architectural decision, right? Or when we are making changes at more than one part of the system, then that is also an architectural decision, right? So this is how we can understand what is architecture and what not, right? And to understand better, we can say like here, like in house, right? The color of walls, right? Color of walls, right? Curtains, right? And fans, right? So these kind of aspects, right, are again like kind of part of design and might be part of planning, right? But these are not hard to change decision, right? We can change color of walls anytime, right? We can change the curtains anytime, right? We can replace the fence anytime, right? So these are also the design decisions, but these are not architectural decision. We can say like these are the interior design or a kind of design which we can do anytime and not part of the architecture, right? Similarly here if we see, right, so here like for example, with when we implement checkout feature, right, so we might have multiple classes, right? So those classes, how many classes we will have there, right? And then tomorrow if we want to add or remove or extend a class, right, or inherit a class and create another class, right? All those decisions are not part of architecture, right? Because those may require some effort, but those decisions will not impact any other part of the system, right? Or will not have any impact on this overall system design, right? So those decisions are not the architectural decision. Same UI design, right? UX design, right? So those decisions basically are not part of architecture. We can understand, and there is a famous quote like all architectures are design, but not all designs are architecture, right? So now we can understand that like some specific design only we can call architecture, not all design we can call architecture, right? But all architecture are design, right? Because architecture is a specific type of design, right? So now what is the importance of architecture, right? Importance of architecture is we can understand from a quote, right? That quote is, so the quote is basically whether you design or not you will get an architecture, but you may not like it if you have not explicitly designed. Okay, so from this quote we can understand that we should basically plan and design the architecture, right? If we don't do that, we will still get an architecture when the system is ready, right? But we may not like that architecture, right? So we have to basically explicitly design our architecture. Okay, so now let's understand the importance of the architecture. What are the key reasons to basically define the architecture, right? So number one, cost and schedule estimates, right? When we have architecture created, right, or defined, then we can predict what will be the cost and when this IT system will be delivered, right? So the cost is basically vary when we are using Azure or AWS, right, or when we are using Oracle or SQL, right, or Cosmos or MongoDB, right? So these, when we define the architecture, right, then we can predict cost and schedule. So this is basically one reason, right? Second reason is basically we can predict the quality of this system, right? We can say after defining the architecture whether our system will be able to handle 1000 requests per second or 1 million requests per second, right? Only after defining the architecture, right? So that is The second aspect, if we will not define the architecture, right, later on we will encounter more issues or changes which we have to make in our system, right? So to avoid major changes, right, at later point in time, right, or when system is ready or when system is built, right, so then those major changes we want to avoid, right, and if we want to avoid those changes we have to define the architecture, right. What else? Another aspect is we want to enhance the communication. Enhance communication, right? We want to enhance communication among stakeholders. We will have stakeholders for our system, right? For example, like operational team, development team, business stakeholders, right? Project management stakeholder, right? So different group of stakeholders, right? And to align all those stakeholders, right, and communicate what we are going to build, how we are going to build, how much will be the cost, what will be the quality of the end product, right, how we will be meeting all the requirements, right. So that communication we can enhance if we define the architecture, right. What is the fifth one? Fifth one is team organization, right. So when we have the architecture, right, we can say how many team members we need, right, of which skill set, right, and how much time we need and how they will be working, whether all will be working in checkout feature, right, or few people will be working for checkout feature, few will be working for product catalog, right, who will be doing the development or the coding, who will be doing the testing, right. So those different aspects related to team organization, right, we will be able to handle better if we have an architecture, right. So these are some of the key regions uh, based on we can say like we need an architecture.